Good morning, year two. Welcome to your Thursday lessons. We are starting off today, as we always do, with reading. And just like every week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we really focus on Flat Stanley. But on Thursday and Friday, we use the skills that we talk about with Flat Stanley and apply it to other texts. And today, we are going to be looking at a fact file. So my first question is this: what is a fact file? And then, are fact files fiction or non-fiction? Do you remember what fiction and non-fiction means? We covered it last week and we've covered it before. What do they mean? What is a fact file? Pause the video, write down what you think. Okay, so a fact file is, it kind of says what it is. It's a file, it's a document, it's information that is full of facts, which are true statements. Okay, facts, they are, it's not an opinion or anything like that. It is things that are proven to be true, normally around one topic. Okay, so are fact files fiction or non-fiction? So first, we've got to talk about what that means. Fiction are your storybooks, your poems, your songs, things like that. Things that are about made up stuff, things that aren't real. So for example, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. There isn't actually a big magical chocolate factory with Willy Wonka inside with a bunch of little people making children really big. As far as I know, maybe they're hiding, but pretty sure that is fiction. It is not real. Whereas non-fiction is when it is not made up. It is completely true about the real world, our real world. Okay, so fact files, because they are facts, they are true statements, that makes them non-fiction. Simple enough. Okay, but before we get on to it, we're going to have a warm up with a short story that is fiction. Okay, this is a fictional story. Before you go and use it in your non-fiction, we're going to look at fiction. So this is called We're Going on a Word Hunt. Woo. Once upon a time, there were 4 little snails, and their names were Slimy, Slowcoach, Slinky, and Bob. I'm off to the shops, said Mrs. Snail one morning. You may go out into the long grass or next to the pond, but don't go into grumpy Mr. Green's garden. Your father once went there, and it ended in a crunch. Slimy, Slowcoach, and Slinky, who are all obedient little snails, went into the long grass for a quick munch, but Bob, who was always mischievous, I should have known it'd be Bob, crawled straight away to Mr. Green's vegetable patch. First, he chomped on some scrumptious cabbage. Next, he chewed on some delicious carrot tops, and then he crunched for a yummy lettuce. Feeling rather sick, he decided to head back home, but just around the corner of the greenhouse, whom should he meet but Mr. Green himself? Stop, you slippery little thief, he yelled at the top of his voice as he angrily shook his spade high in the air. Kind of reminds me of Peter Rabbit, sneaking in and taking food. Or Fantastic Mr. Fox, whichever animal you're more inclined to enjoy. So here are some questions about that short story. We've got, why is the word crunch written in capital letters? What adjectives does the author use, the author is the writer, to show that Bob is enjoying the vegetables in Mr. Green's garden that he's eating? What adjectives are there that tell us he's enjoying it? And then what sort of man is Mr. Green? What words, phrases give us clues about what Mr. Green is like as a person? Okay, so pause the video, have a go. Right, so the first question, why is the word crunch written in capital letters? Because it's a why question, it's kind of an opinion, but basically it's because that sound of a crunch is normally quite a big idea. It's like a big crunch. So it's to exclaim that word, to make it louder and have a bigger impact on you as a reader. It's crunch rather than crunch. It's like has a bigger impact. What adjectives does the author use to show that Bob is enjoying the vegetables in Mr. Green's garden? So we need to look for the vegetables. So here, cabbage. Adjective here is scrumptious. That's a really good word. So we can tell he enjoyed the cabbage. Delicious carrot tops. Oh, delicious. That adjective tells us he likes it. Here's lettuce, yummy. So we've got 3 adjectives there, all describing the vegetables as really good. So that's how we know Bob liked them. And then what sort of man is Mr. Green? So the one that really sticks out here is grumpy Mr. Green. So we can tell he's a grumpy man. And then at the end, when he spots him, he's angrily shaking his spade. So we can tell he's angry. So grumpy or angry were the ones they were looking for there. All right, we're moving on to our main text today, which is a non-fiction text. It is a fact file all about pythons. Yes, your friend of mine, the snakes of the world, focusing on pythons. So we're going to read you the text and show you the questions, just as we always do. So pythons. Snakes are reptiles, which means they are cold-blooded and have scales instead of hair or fur. They can be extremely dangerous and some are very poisonous. They can range in size from being small enough to fit on a coin to being longer than a bus. Pythons are one of thousands of different species of snake. There are as many as 26 different types of python. All right, let's learn about their habitat, which we've learned about in science before. Pythons are very adaptable. That means they can change for their environment and are found in many different countries and environments. They tend to be found in environments that are particularly hot, such as parched deserts or humid rainforests. This means that they are largely found throughout the continents of Asia and Africa because they are cold-blooded, which means that they have to use the sun and rocks heated by the sun to warm themselves. If they get too cold, they cannot function properly, and they will struggle to hunt and protect themselves from predators. One of the reasons pythons make their home in the rainforest is because it provides many different places to hide. Some pythons will wrap themselves around the branches and disappear amongst the leaves. Others will coil up tightly, hidden on the forest floor, and wait for prey to come close enough to catch. Pythons have skin, which allows them to blend in wherever they are. We call this camouflage. Their skin has patterns that help to hide them by copying the leaves or bark of a tree. All right, let's learn about their diet. Pythons are carnivores, which means that they only eat meat. Most pythons will have a diet consisting of small mammals like rats, but they will eat other animals such as birds, lizards, monkeys, and even caiman, which are like alligators. Pythons do not chase their prey. They wait and then strike quickly, gripping with their teeth before wrapping their body around the prey and squeezing tight. All right, let's learn some fun facts about the pythons. The length of a python can range from very small, about 30 centimeters, which is one of our rulers at school, 30 centimeters, to the largest ever recorded at an amazing 8 meters long. Okay, so you know how tall Mr. Gardner is, how long he is. He is 2 meters. So you've got to think of 4 Mr. Gardners on top of each other. That's how long a python can be. Even though they live on land or in trees, they are actually very good swimmers, which I did not know. That's quite interesting. Okay, on to your questions. If you cannot access Teams, there are your questions. Pause the video, pencil and pen, pencil and pen, pencil and paper, you know what to do. If you do have Teams, this is your assignment. Please go do the questions. The text is saved as a PDF in Reading, so you can get that up as well to help you. Pause the video, get it done. And then once you've done that, to stretch yourself, if you've still got time, can you write a short fact file about any animal of your choice? Even if you like, if you've got the time, do some research first. Or if there's an animal you just know really well, okay? So that is your reading lesson for today. Go over to Teams, get the assignment done. Thanks everyone, see you later.